That means the first level of knowledge is when you become a sadhak. A sadhak means a seeker, and a seeker after truth. That means you already somehow in the mind, you already know that you don't know. That's a big knowledge, to know that you don't know. And then you are seeking for the truth. You're seeking to know. But you don't quite know what you are seeking. Okay? And so that's the first stage of knowledge. So in that time, you kind of seeking and kind of in the dark and in the light and kind of confused. So there is some guidelines. According to Vedanta teaching, there is some guidelines. Because the seeking here is a seeking for the truth, so it's a inner seeking. It's not a seeking outside. Because you don't need to come to the ashram and do TTC if you seek outside. Because, all the time that's what we do. We seek outside for pleasures and happiness that are in the sensual world and that are temporary. And, so then if something did not happen the way how we wanted, then we get disappointed and we get to blame something or somebody, and we find the explanation for our disappointment always external to ourselves in an external world. But the seeker or the sadhak is a person that start to have the discrimination, which is the number one qualification of a seeker. Is a four main qualification. Number one is have discrimination. I explain in a moment. And the number two is have dispassion or detachment. And the number three is have all these mental qualifications, which we will talk about tomorrow. The 6 total that you need to acquire. And then the number 4 is have a mumukshutva, when they have the desire to know. So because you have completed the TTC and many of you have started on this journey path since a very long time, so I believe that all the people here present is quite serious. And so you are a seeker, okay? Otherwise you will not go through TTC wanting to have more discipline in your life and, learn meditation and yoga in a systematic, serious manner. So now, so that's called the mumukshutva. The mumukshutva, the desire to know. So now, in order to realize or to know, because you are seeking, you have to, you have to know more or less what you are seeking. Otherwise, what you're seeking? I'm seeking for my glass. Let's say I'm seeking for my glass. My glass is here. I'm seeking for my glass. I grasp everything around. Is it my glass? No. Oh, maybe this is my glass. No. Okay. Oh, this is my glass? No. So, why I am grasping? Because I don't quite know. And then I'm putting it down because I know that it's not it. You see? Because I said, this is not my glass. Why? Why I'm so certain that it's not my glass that I can put it down and then rejected it. Because I know. Yes or no? Because I know how my glass will look like. Yes? And when I touch this, I say, wow, this is it. You see? I have no uncertainty, no doubt. This is it. Why? Because I know it. So in yoga, Vedanta, you are seeking something that you know. And yet there is something in your mind that is so illusory that you cannot, you all the time looking for something somewhere else, and mistaken something for what it is not. So you are seeking, you have a pattern of seeking in the wrong place, and you are not quite know what you are seeking. Okay, so that's the big problem there. So, so there is a guidelines. So when you are seeking, you have to know where you seek, and then in Vedanta philosophy, it is said that you have to qualify yourself in order for you to see or for you to find. Okay, so it's very interesting why Vedanta would say something like this. Yeah. So normally we seek outside, then you say, oh, this is maybe in the landscape, you know, or maybe it's in the company, or maybe it's in the weather, or maybe, I want to be near to the beach, and here it's too dry. Or you're always looking for something externally for the happiness that you are seeking for in truth. But always you are having that very bad habit, which we try to change with the yoga self-discipline, to look at the right place. Okay, so you have to eventually you have to have also called the dispassion or the detachment. Yeah, first, the number one is discrimination. That means you have to know what you are seeking. Number two, you have to also be detached or be dispassionate about things that you have mistaken to be it, to be what you are looking for. Yeah, and yet you are continue to do it again. You see, you know that this is not your glass. You've done it before, and yet because out of habit of the mind, yeah, you are still going on the same route. You know that the ice cream, the sensual pleasure, I'm giving example this, but really it's our habitual way to find happiness. In the senses, in the emotion, in the sex, in the in the name and the fame and the ego, in the external world, in the external world means senses. You are here, but you are looking up. Oh, I like to be on the beach. Yeah, and then you have that dream in your mind. Yeah, I like to be in the beach in a 5-star hotel, and I can have my pina colada or whatever, the favorite drink, and then, I can be. Oh, that is happiness. So you have these impressions in the mind since a very long time, and very deep, and and um, and you have had your disappointment, yeah, since a very long time also. Then because you build up some kind of desire, and then you get the desire object, and then you don't get the happiness that you're looking for. It's flit through your through your hands, and then it's gone, and you get again, you feel yourself empty and looking, and then in that state again of hankering after something, and yet not be able to satisfy yourself and find peace of mind. And yet the mind is keep going on the same groove. You keep going on the same route, looking externally for happiness. Okay, it's very deep. This groove of the mind is very deep, and it takes a long time to change. Okay, but that's why it is said you need to be qualified. Yeah, the happiness that you are looking for is right here and now, is within you, is all the time surrounding you, is right in front of you, is right here now, yeah, is not outside, and yet we are mistaken the whole time, all the time. Okay? So the first qualification is discrimination, the faculty. That means some kind of intelligence in your mind, yeah, that is able to recognize that the truth that I'm looking for, the happiness that I'm looking for, is not in this changing world, not in the senses, not in my habits, not in my emotions, not in this changing world. I'm looking for it in a different manner. To find it, I need to find a different way. I need to go within, yeah, to find the unchanging, the impermanent, the truth, the sat in the word Satchidananda Atman, that you know, the self that is unchanging, that is full awareness, consciousness, and that is full bliss. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that. Yeah, in all the forms that I have been looking for, actually I'm looking for that. But I'm always go in the wrong way because of the illusions of my mind. So discrimination is the inner faculty, yeah, through practices from the past. You know, you are not new on this path. You have practiced before. You have been a seeker before this life. Yeah, maybe you have been long time seeking for that truth. Okay, so but something is not yet sharp enough in your intelligence, in your mind, in your discriminative intelligence, is not sharp enough for you to see when you go in the wrong place, for you to recognize when you go back in your old habit that would give you again emptiness, that will give you again disillusion. It would not get you to where you want. So discrimination faculty is that intelligence, intuitive intelligence, or that come from that wisdom from within you that has been sharpened over lifetimes, that will make you feel that something is wrong. Yeah, that feel, I say the word feel, but in fact makes you know or makes you decide that something is wrong. Yeah. So I give some example here. One time Swami Vishnudevanji, he sent me here in the yoga farm, and that was about 25 years ago, and and I was not happy because of many reasons. You know, at that time the ashram is not the way how it is now. It's very wild, you know. It's an old farmhouse and grass grow tall, and there is nobody here, and nobody really know, and it's not really, you know, developed. And but it's not really that I was afraid of, but because I still have a dream in my mind. Okay, the attachment to a certain thought called samskara, a certain thought in my mind, that the ideal place for me to be will be in the mountain, not in the valley. Okay, so that's the way how it comes down to, you know. And I like pine trees because in my childhood I lived in a pine trees hill, and now I'm in a valley with oak trees, with different kind of weather. It's not, you know, pine trees, they have to be cool weather, and now I'm in a oak tree area, hot, you know, valley. Yeah, and I have been sent by the guru to be here. So my mind said, no, I don't like it. So then I said, wow, why Swamiji will open a ashram in a valley like this when just about, I don't know, um, just few miles away really. It's not very far. Yeah, there is pine trees, nice weather, hillside, and you go up a little bit the highway, and that will be perfect. Why the ashram is not there? And the ashram is here, and it's not what I wanted. See, so then my mind is thinking. So I can go a few hundred, not few hundred, it's a few miles. I go a few miles and got my ideal that is in my mind. Yeah, or I come to this place that is not my ideal at all. But what do I get? I get the teaching. I get the connection to the guru, the teaching, and I get to be serving the guru mission. I get to have follow the schedule that is decided by the guru, because that is how the teaching is transmitted through the schedule and through the daily life. And I get all this. And then I have my mind that is attached to my idea that is in my mind of what is my ideal place. That will bring me happiness, is it not? So then, thanks God. I give you example, real example. Thanks God. My discriminative mind kick in. Okay? So I'm giving you example of what's called discrimination. My mind say, oh, okay, I have to choose between the weather, the landscape, the everything, and the teaching, and the connection to the guru. Yeah, that will lead me to go inside myself, lead me to the right place. So what do I choose? Yeah. So I chose the teaching. You see that? I chose the teaching. I sacrificed my idea of an external reality that will give me happiness, and I choose the condition, the connection, the austerity, the tapas, the opportunity to do practices, and that's how I stay with the place for 25 years. I stay here for 25 years, and it's not easy. Yeah, condition is never easy. Yeah, so people sometimes these days say, oh, there's not too many people here because of COVID and things. I said, 25 years ago when I started, there's only half staff, which is me, in half. Because I was staff in San Francisco half time here, half staff, and now we have a dozen staff, so it's already a big difference. Okay, so what I'm saying is, your mind need to start to think differently about your choices in your life. Yeah, the illusion in our mind always bring us in the same route and lead us to the same disillusion, go round and round and round and waste a lot of time. Meanwhile, you get old and you lose all opportunity for discipline, for meditation, and then you waste your life. You can be just wasting your life, yeah, and time just pass so quick, and you're running around seeking for illusions. Okay, another discrimination and dispassion story was once upon a time I was not a swami. Yeah, I was like you working, and I had some money and time. And you work, you have money, and you have time too. You have vacation and things. So then I went to. I don't have a mission in life. I have nothing for me to dedicate it to, and I have no spiritual ideal, nothing. So I went to Paris. And then what do you do in Paris? Yeah, you look at things a little bit, and then what do you do? Yeah, you go shopping, and then what do you do? Paris is famous for what? Fashion. Paris and Italy, Rome and Milan. What is it? People go there for what? Shopping, for fashion things. So I did that. I have money, have nothing to do, my life. So I went shopping for fashion thing. So then things that I would normally buy, but I bought this because you like to be like everybody. So then I come back and I dress myself with this thing for, I would say, one day. One day I wear this and I look myself in the mirror. It doesn't look like me at all. And I say, why I will be spending money and wear this kind of thing? It looked really very fashionable. It's some kind of cape or something. But so I get rid of it. I just waste my money. Yeah. I get rid of it after a day. So why? Because there's a discrimination that come in that say, your happiness doesn't depend on your look. If you wear your fashion clothing, it's your look that you think that will give you the success and the happiness. If you have the look, you can be attractive and so on, but will you have the happiness? No. I know very quickly that it is an illusion. Yeah. So then, of course, dispassion come. The first quality is discrimination, to be able to know, to think properly what will lead me to my happiness that I'm seeking for, and not to go back to my old groove, old habit. Yeah. And the second thing is the dispassion. That means the detachment toward the habit, toward the karma, toward that strong desire and strong tendency built up since a very long time that makes us all the time go around about and go wrong, yeah, and not be able to stop it. That's called the second thing that you need is called detachment or dispassion. Okay, so the dispassion that make me get rid of this fashion clothing and vow to myself that I will never do it again. Okay, make mistake, did the thing, waste my money, but also say that that's it. It's finished for me, finished forever and ever. You see, so that is called the dispassion, the detachment. Yeah. So the detachment, um, the detachment um, that goes with the discrimination last. But the detachment that comes from pain, yeah, doesn't last. Let's say the example, oftentimes the woman that give birth, it's very painful giving birth, and she said, "That's it, I will not have child anymore." Yeah, but then after some time she forgot. Yeah, she has many children. Yeah, so that is a temporary dispassion or detachment, or somebody that have some heartache from kind of romantic love disillusion. The girlfriend run away. So then you have a heartache, and then you run to the ashram. Some people run here. With a, if I remember clearly, one guy, he run here with a red sports car. I forgot his culture now. But he drive here. In the Assam, you don't have red sports car. But this guy drove here with a red sports car, that represent the Rajas, because he just have a heartache. His girlfriend, whatever it is, just broken relationship. And he come here and he say, I will stay here forever. He said that I have enough now. This girlfriend business, I know now, I understand. So I will stay here, I will do meditation, I will build up my life and so on. So he's like very sincere. We take him in. I think this guy, he stay here for, I think barely 1 month. 1 month, and then he forget the girlfriend. He get out with a red sports car, and you think that he's over? Hmm? With a red sports car, you get another girlfriend. Yeah. So what that means is still lacking detachment, lacking dispassion. So the detachment that is temporary because you have some pain, and you say never again. You know, like you eat some ice cream and you have stomach ache, and you say never again. Yeah, it's not lasting. Why? Because it's not based on discrimination. Okay, so all the detachment that is not based on discrimination will not last. Okay, then you will go back again to the same thing when you feel a little bit, you know, under the weather and things are not going the way you wanted and so on, then you want to find happiness. Immediately the old samskara, the old groove will kick in again, and then you will find yourself doing the same thing again. Okay, so the detachment need to be based on discrimination. That means you need to really understand, you know, and use your intelligence to understand. For example, the ice cream. You understand it is ice, color ice with sugar with a nice name. So that's the truth about ice cream. You see? You use your discrimination, you say, this is it. This is the truth about ice cream. Is it give me that sugar high, and then that coldness and that name that feel good, but then it would give me diarrhea. So it's called, you think about it. Then your detachment will be lasting. The next time, even a new name of ice cream, you know, they always come with new name, you know, new color, new name, very, you know, that's how the whole industry works, right? The publicity and everything else. So you would say, no, I will not buy it. I will not get into that trap again. You know, so that means that your dispassion is solid. Your detachment is solid because it's based on understanding. So whatever that you find yourself doing it again and again and again and again, and it gets you in trouble, you almost lose all your wings, like the moth that is flying into the fire, you know, and almost get itself killed, lose all its wing, and then get blind, you know, and almost kill itself, run out, and then run back in again blind, run back in again, and literally kill itself. Okay, so we can do that over and over again, but how much we can continue to do this? You lose all your prana and you get sick. It's not like you can be young forever, because this kind of disillusion, this kind of heartache, this kind of sadness, this kind of depression that come from after desire unfulfilled, this kind of anger, resentment, this kind of thing are taxing your system, losing your prana, taxing your system, you know, waste of your life, waste of your time. So you have to start to think. And that's why satsanga, or company of the wise, you know, they don't talk nonsense. They don't sell you ice cream. They don't sell you easy happiness. Yeah. So that they tell you have to do discipline. You have to look within. You have to, you know, seize your habit of attachment, your habit of telling stories to yourself. That that you have been doing for a long time. So that they tell you the truth. Yeah, and then you are in satsanga. It keeps you safe. It keeps you sane. Yeah, and it keeps you on the right path. Okay. So there's another level of dispassion or detachment, is a detachment toward the difficulty of the karma. The difficulty of the karma means, you know, life is not all the time. Um, Life is not all the time nice. You know, today we had a nice day. In the morning, so nice. And then in the afternoon, late afternoon, some smoke come in from somewhere. You know, it's like, oh, again, you know. So that's a karma, is it not? That we are here, the ashram is here, and then now some California collective karma, the planet Earth collective karma, the climate change collective karma, and then it creates some difficulty for us, and then we complain, and then we fall down. When we complain, when we don't understand, when things are negative, then we fall down. That means what? That we believe it to be true, we forget about our immortal self, and then we drop our energy, and then our energy is dropped, what the drama is when the energy is dropped. I mean, when we are not able to see the happiness and find ourselves again, so what will happen then? When the energy drop, we will go back to the old groove. We'll go back to the old addiction. We'll go back to the old way of finding temporary happiness, yeah, and our mind become blind again. Then again we go in the loop. So that's why the forbearance is a very important quality. I talk about that tomorrow. But the detachment against the up and down of the karma. Yeah, the detachment, that means not completely believing in it, yeah, and have the resilience not to believe in it, and keep remaining in yourself. Have the discrimination to know that this is a temporary thing. It's not the truth. The truth of my life is not the landscape, it's not the weather, it's not the people, it's not the company, it's not the food I eat, it's not none of this. Yeah, but it is my capacity to be able to see myself, my true self that is real here and now, and the making the separation between my mind that is all the time come up with new thoughts and new idea and new desires, and make me lose my meditation and run after my thoughts. So that is the discrimination need to come in for you to be detached from the thoughts. So when you meditate, that is what's happening. You have to be able to know what is the peace, and you stick to it, and what is the thoughts that come. And usually your most favorite thought will always come up during your meditation to disturb your meditation, and then you run with it, and then you forget the whole thing about meditation. See? And life is like that also. Yeah, we all the time run after our desires, our idea about this, that, and then we forget. We lose the concentration, we get ourselves distracted, and then we go in the loop. Okay, so discrimination is called viveka, detachment is called vairagya, and also detachment come from detachment from the result of your action. Okay, and that is called karma yoga, which we will talk plenty later on. Detachment from thoughts is meditation. Detachment from emotions, because the emotions is always attachment, is it not? You are attached to things because of your emotions. So you have to really practice bhakti yoga, which you'll be learning later, so that you and cling on to your mantra, to your way of connecting to the divine, in order for you not to fall down into the attachment, because the attachment will not going to bring you to happiness. It will ruin your life. It makes you lose your way. So that we will talk about that later. Okay, so detachment, again I repeat, detachment towards your your activity, detachment from the result of your action, detachment from this life, which is the result of your action from past, detachment from your feeling, okay, your emotions. We always fall. The moment we have a feeling, an emotion, like we fall right away. We don't have any discrimination, any resistance, any detachment, nothing. The feelings just pull ourselves by the nose, and then we fall. Okay, we get ourselves completely confused. So detachment about the emotions, which is bhakti yoga, and detachment toward the the mind and the thoughts itself, that is called Raja Yoga, and meditation, and the detachment toward the sense of self, which is the ego, the false sense of self, false identification, you know, ego, I'm the best cook, I'm the best teacher, I'm the best everything, and then what I'm doing here, I need to do this, do that. Who knows all this idea that we have about our identity? We need to be detached from that as well. And then the last thing I just say is the 6 virtues. We talk about that tomorrow. And the mumukshutva, which is the desire to know, that we need to cultivate, because you might have a glimpse of seeking, the glimpse of knowing that you don't know and you are seeking, but then you forget. You see? So the mumukshutva, or the desire to know, need to be cultivated, need to be continuously cultivated. Yeah, you have to constantly know that you don't know, and you're constantly interested in knowing. Yeah. So my life as a teacher, I'm almost 40 years as a teacher. One thing is very strange to me, very strange. Until now, I will still find it very strange, is that people are not curious about themselves. It's very strange to me. Yeah. They are not really wanting to know more about themselves. They know everything. They know how to shop, which company is good, what price, what car, what mark, what this, everything. About the external world, they know everything. They're educated about politics, about this politician, that politician say this, that. They know. But about themselves, they don't care, because they think that they know. Because they think that they know, because the ego tell them plenty that that is what I am. Yeah. But it's not what they are. It's what they have been believing for a long time. Yeah. And the society, the environment, their family been telling them that's what they are, but that's not what they are. But unless you ask yourself questions, you don't know. So people don't ask questions. At the end of TTC, I always say like this, and I teach thousands of people. If you have a question, I am available. I promise I always answer your questions. How many questions I have after teaching? How many? None. Not none, but very little. Yeah. And people that ask question and continuing asking question and continue coming back and continue asking question is rare. Most of people are not doing it. Okay? It's called mumukshutva. Mumukshutva means the continuously cultivation of your desire to know. Hare Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Om.